they're going to be penalized 2.5% of their income if
Is
they
that,
don't
no,
pay
Is that what the final formula is? 2.5% of your annual gross income? That's what you're going to be hit with?
I believe that's the final number, unless something changed.
For someone who's poor, I think the bottom is $750 in fines.
That's the bottom threshold.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker: if you don't pay it, then this is considered to be a tax, and so if you don't pay it, you can be thrown in prison for failing to pay taxes.
Yeah, late fees and penalties will start to accrue.
Yes.
The income tax guru, a new appointee, will be actually the man who tries to enforce this. And I just hope that for once, one last time, perhaps Americans can stand up and throw off the yoke of oppression and tyranny, which is what this is. It's unbelievable. All right, be right back with Ty Bollinger in just a couple minutes. Do visit his website. His extraordinary book is there, and it is must reading for anyone who either has cancer or knows someone who does. Be right back. Okay, and we're back with Ty Bollinger. His book is truly a classic. There is no question about it. There are so many people, I don't know how many people each year in this country are diagnosed with cancer now, Ty, but each one of you, who, if you just know someone, get him the book. It's the Bible of I hate to use this term, alternative.
I hate it too.
Jeez. It's the Bible to approaches to cure your body of ill health brought about by the sanctified, organized machine of doing business as usual in the United States in terms of diet, lifestyle, and all the rest of it.
Jeff, I love that. You mind if I quote you on that?
I have no idea what I just said, so don't.
I don't either, but it sounded really cool.
Well, that's what happens when you're a vegan. Sometimes you have lucid moments. Seriously, milk and meat and processed foods and chemical additives in the soil, which is dead to begin with, you got to have your own garden. There are so many people who don't even know what a tomato tastes like or a real apple. Honestly, they just don't. It's shocking. You can't do it. Milk and dairy products, the average person consumes over 30 ounces a day. Think about it. And that's liquid meat for all intents and purposes. It turns your body into an acid factory, and bacteria love it. And if you read the work of Royal Raymond Rife, you'll know that bacteria and viruses, mold, yeast, and fungus, and other smaller particles than that are all the same thing. They're just reflecting a life form according to the environment, your body, your petri dish that they're living in. Clean your petri dish, and in most cases, that's enough to allow the body to normalize and regain its equilibrium.
Pleomorphism is the attribute that you're talking about.
That's right.
The changing shapes of these little bitty critters that are in us.
Yeah, there's an amazing documentary out. I was very honored to do the narration on it. You can find it at Rense.com. It's the story of Royal Raymond Rife, and it is a story that will never be made into a Hollywood motion picture for obvious reasons. Probably the greatest medical genius of our times, the last 150 years. And there have been others. Royal Rife is not the only one. There are scores, if not more, cures for cancer. But, that said, unless you stop doing what gave you the cancer in the first place, it's going to come back. All right?
Yeah. You're right. It will come back if you don't stop doing what gave it to you to start with. And, I think that's part of the problem with our system, our sickness perpetuation system, is that people just do not want to give up their bad habits. They would rather take a shot, do some chemo, even though they're going to get sick.
Isn't it amazing?
Go under the knife to get it cut out or be, radiated, then have to go in and change the bad habits that gave them the cancer.
It's hard.
I see that too often.
Beyond true. It's hard to totally hold them accountable, though, because they have been tricked. It's not that they're coming forward with an honest set of informational tools, a good database, some balance about life, and they're making decisions. They're tricked through flavor. They're tricked through the media. They're tricked in so many different ways to become addicted and habituated to basically a road to certain premature death and great suffering along the way. And it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't.
Does not have to
I
be.
do agree with you. I would not hold most people accountable for that because they have been put into the system, and they are put in the matrix when they're born. And so that is the response that they're
cradle to grave.
Yes.
And as I've said before, let me say it again. The first time you parents put your child or children in front of a commercial television program and leave them alone, even if you sit with them, their history. It absolutely programs them. The whole programming is designed to take your kids away from you, turn them against you, turn them into idiots, morons, imbeciles. 75% of the children in the UK, and it's probably exactly the same here in America, choose to listen to music that their peers deem cool and neat, not what they like. They no longer are able, because of the fear-based paradigm in which they live, to select the kind of music they want to listen to. Mm. It's that fierce and ferocious and dominating now. Peer pressure. It's unbelievable.
Yes, and one of the or a couple of the most intriguing pieces of art that I've seen are by our friend David Dees. Some of his artwork with the family sitting in front of the television with the spiral matrix going and the obey, and he's got some good pieces on that, and that is so true because we are propagandized and brainwashed through the television, and the key to it is that you don't know you're being brainwashed. That is the slogan was the slogan of Edwin Bernays, Sigmund Freud's nephew, who wrote a book back in the 1920s called Propaganda, and that was his slogan, to manipulate the masses without their knowing it. So the trademark sign of a good persuader, a good propagandizer, is that you don't know you're being tricked.
I had an interview up with Bernays, I guess done when he was in his 90s, still very sharp. The father of mass mind control.
Yes.
Edward L. Bernays, no question. All right,
we can thank him for the fluoride in our water.
Oh, and so many other things.
Yes.
Ty Bollinger is our guest, and we'll be back with Mr. B in just a couple minutes. His book is right there on the website, and it is probably the single most important book you can read, you can consider, and you really should have in your home library in terms of overall health. It's got all the answers there. They're all there. I don't know how he did it, but he did. It's a masterpiece. Be right back. Okay, back with Ty Bollinger and talking about cancer. But let's talk about how dumb Americans are now, Ty. Okay. And it has to do with not only the food they eat, which certainly dumbs them down, but the educational process, the government schooling they go through. But even if they go to private schools, and even many who are home taught, the kids are subverted and destroyed anyhow because kids watch TV. And it doesn't matter what the school venue is, if they watch television and talk to other children who do watch television, they're going to be poisoned and contaminated just as if they did it themselves. It's that simple. So we have a lifestyle that is literally toxic in every way. And it breeds stupidity. You want to hear something really stupid? Now this is why, ladies and gentlemen, and not all like this, but this is a U.S. congressman. I'm not going to identify who it is. There's a Navy admiral or some brass being questioned at a congressional hearing. Now, you got to listen to this. It's almost it's almost impossible to believe, but it's real. Now, this is a congressional testimony, a Democrat representative talking to a U.S. naval officer about the island of Guam. All right, how dumb is dumb? This gets to plumbing a pretty interesting depth.
Okay.